And I can remember the professor in the biology class seemed like a super intelligent guy, great teacher. And he had this accent, and it was like this, you know, he talked like, it wasn't English, but it was a weird sort of thing. And then he said he would do this with his arm. And I'm not sure what, he would just point at the class. It looked like it wasn't really attached, kind of like on a swivel. And then he would say, one may ask the question, and he said question like there's like different letters in the word or something. And he said, one may ask the question about biology and the origins of life, and he started to talk about evolution and how the world started, and I was a pretty new Christian at the time, and I shot my hand up and I was like, wait, I think evolution is wrong. Oh, he looked at me as well as the rest of the class. I really didn't have anything after that. That was it. That was my argument. Seemed wrong. That's how, it just doesn't seem right. Okay? Stupid person in the back. Shut your mouth. He didn't really say that. He was a nice guy. But that's like, I didn't know anything about my faith or why evolution seemed wrong to me. Although that I believed in God, and I knew that most people that believed in evolution didn't believe in God. And so that was how I started my apologetics of the Christian faith. I know it's wrong. So I want to try and give a little bit more information than that tonight on this topic. And I want to first start off by talking about the basics of each. Evolution believes that life started in the simplest form and evolved. That's why they call it evolution. And because of a process of natural selection, the strong over the weak, so to speak, became one organism upon another, became more and more complex. And we went from very simple cells until all of us here tonight. And that's basically evolution, is a process of going from the simple to the complex, on a process called natural selection. How many people have been taught that and heard that in school? All right. So you understand what evolution is. Good. Creation basically says that life is very complex. It was complex at the start, and that complexity it started by an intelligent designer. The Bible calls him God, Jesus, Jehovah, or Yahweh. God started it all. An intelligent designer made things complex from the beginning. Creationism, God created everything. So those are the two theories. Those are the opposing theories. And it is true that a majority of people that believe in evolution don't necessarily hold to the fact that God exists. There's a rising number of people in our country and in the world that are atheists, that do not believe that there is a God. That in the last, since 1997, it has gone from 8% to 12% in this country, which still means that 88% of the people in this country believe that God exists. Excuse me, but in other countries, it's much, much higher. I believe the current statistic is in England, is about 54% of the people do not believe that God exists. It's very interesting because, you know, that we have our origins and our religious background from a lot of the European countries. And atheism is rising in those countries. So, evolution. Evolution is this process which science says that we developed to be very complex people from syneology, or some kind of one-cell organism. But there are some pretty big holes that evolution just does not address. One of these holes is the fact that it cannot answer how we got from non-life to life. It doesn't have any explanation. You may have heard of a guy named Richard Dawkins, wrote a book called The God Delusion. There's another book out now by a Christian author, I can't think of his name, but it's called The Dawkins Delusion. Also, interesting book. I'm about to read The God Delusion to find out what he has said. But he is an atheist, and by read, I mean I have it on CD. So, but when asked, had no answer but guesses about how life has gone from how this has gone from non-life to life. Is it perhaps on the backs of crystals? The right things were there, the elements, the compounds were in the right place at the right time with the right crystals, with the right electricity or whatever it was to create life. Some people said that sometime and the right elements were in the right place, and amino acids, and lightning hit a mud puddle, and life ignited. Some people think actually one of the theories is that it was brought here from someplace else. Those would be aliens, but they don't usually say aliens. Because that sounds ridiculous. But that's actually one of the theories that people hold. I'm not joking about that. What's really interesting about the fact that they can't explain that is that they're trying to explain. They're trying to create life.